What would take someone 1 hour to learn would take me 4 hours. Can I have one of them, please?
Because I want to draw.
Yeah, but there's a pattern where they tend to work harder to make up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Or because there's so much societal pressure on girls to really behave well. And I shouldn't be blaming myself for this. I should just figure out a different way that works. And just do drugs, it helps me.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I invite my friend Georgia to come to my show. Not show. So Georgia, can you introduce yourself? Like, where are you from? Your cultural backgrounds?
Okay, hello, my name is Georgia. I am English and Canadian, but I've grown up moving around Europe. And right now I am at U of T, University of Toronto, studying maths and English. And yeah, we met at a Chinese New Year dinner.
Yeah, why do I go to Chinese New Year? Why did I? Because I am Chinese.
Surprise!
Yeah, so why did you go to that event?
Because it just seemed like so much fun, and I know Chinese food is amazing. So Chinese New Year sounded like the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. And you can speak some Chinese, right?
Yes.
Like what?
1、2、3、4、5、6。6。
Yeah, 6。
Yes.
7。
7、
8。
8、
9。
9、
10。
10。
Yeah. So now it's time to show my English. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You know so much more English than I do Chinese.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
4.
French.
Yeah. Anyway, so you mentioned about ADHD. No, you didn't mention, but I want to bring this topic.
We were talking about it previously.
Yeah. Because ADHD now is a very popular, heated topic among Chinese young people, especially on social media. Yeah. So are you diagnosed with ADHD?
I am. I got diagnosed when I was about 14 years old. And my grades in school were beginning to become really, really bad. So yeah.
So before you have had bad grades, so your parents suggest maybe you should do a test, or you struggle on your learning study?
I do. Well, I used to spend hours more than everyone else. What would take someone 1 hour to learn would take me 4 hours.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. And it got to the point at 14 years old already in school where I couldn't spend any more time. And so then it began to catch up with me. And I think I got 34% in a chemistry exam. And my
13 out of 100?
Out of 100,
Oh,
34.
That was terrible.
Yes, it was.
But I was like 59, but it's not.
At least you passed.
Yeah, no. Like 60, that's the point that you can pass.
Oh, it is? In China?
In China, yeah.
Oh, this is weird because in Canada it's 50. But actually in the UK school system, in the English school system,
A-level?
Yeah, there actually isn't a specific number. It's just how you compare to everyone else.
Yeah, like A plus, A star.
Yes,
yeah, I know the grading system.
Oh, scary.
Yeah. So and then you went to see the doctor?
I did, and I got diagnosed with it very severely.
So did they ask you to fill out some forms?
They did.
Questionnaire, what?
They did, but they also asked me to play a lot of weird little games.
Like what?
Like you'd hear a voice saying a bunch of numbers, and then every now and then they'd say the name of an animal. And then at the end, I'd have to give all the animal names. It was really weird. Or see if I was distracted, and I couldn't.
How did doctor treat ADHD? Give you prescription or just weekly counseling or monthly counseling?
Every 2 or 3 months, I would go in and see my psychiatrist.
Wait, which country?
in Luxembourg, which is a little country
Luxembourg, yeah.
in between Belgium, Germany, and France.
Okay. In Luxembourg, you went to see doctor
I did.
regularly?
Yes, every 2 or 3 months, because the ADHD medication is very strictly controlled. I think it's very strictly controlled everywhere, but especially there, they were very uptight.
Why is this situation?
Because it's so addictive.
And some people use it like drugs to.
Yes, especially at university, actually. It's, yeah, I think each pill, I read somewhere, this might be very wrong, each pill can be sold for about $50, which sounds like a lot. But a lot of people use them as study drugs here. Well, there were some people who came up to me actually in school and asked me to, can I have one of them, please?
Because I want to do drugs.
Yeah, but I said no, because no way. You also don't know. I mean, even besides morals and ethics and the law, you also don't know how they will react. Yeah. And there are some people who
and
apparently...
you should be responsible for giving the drugs.
Yeah, there's just no way ever. But, you know, they might have a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
If overdosed.
Yeah, but people apparently can be even allergic to it. So, no way.
So, how many tablets do you need to take one day, or do you remember?
Usually not many. I think it's less than many people I've talked to who also have ADHD.
Because it's addictive.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, it isn't addictive if you actually have ADHD and you follow your doctor's orders. Then it's completely safe and fine. It's when
because you need it, right?
Exactly, you do need it to live a normal life like everyone else.
But for some people, they don't need it, but if they have extra amount,
and then they get addicted.
Yeah.
Or if you take more than your doctor prescribes, like if I took, I don't know, 20 pills instead of 1 or 2, then I become addicted.
So what are the effects after you taking those drugs?
I can focus way better. Way better. I can read a sentence and I actually understand what it's saying.
So can you give me an example, like before taking drugs and then after? Let's say one example, one sentence.
Ooh, that's tough because there are so many changes that happened that were all for the better. But one example is that I did a math test before ADHD drugs. And I did so many mistakes on it, but the mistakes were so silly.
Because you are careless or...
Exactly. Right. Like, I don't know, I'd have to draw a spot on a graph, and it was just so obviously the wrong spot. And all the calculations were right, and the spot was wrong. And it would make, my parents would look over my exams after, and they said, what is this? What are you doing? Focus. And then that didn't happen nearly as much, though it still happens regardless. So I've still got to check a number of times. The drugs only help so much.
Yeah, I see. So you can concentrate more, right?
Yes, I can study in a much shorter amount of time.
Oh, I'm sorry. So what are the symptoms that people with ADHD usually have? Symptoms like easily to get distracted. That's one thing.
Definitely. Well, it's important to say that the symptoms can actually be very different, and they're also, yes, and also in boys and girls, they can present very differently.
What about girls?
So in girls, it's a lot more, apparently, they're more likely to be absent-minded and quiet. And they also tend, I'm not sure exactly why this is, but there's a pattern where they tend to work harder to make up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Or because there's so much societal pressure on girls to really behave well, etc., they overcompensate.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas with boys, it's more allowed that they're loud in class, or it's more expected that they can be a bit freer.
Yeah.
And so you've got the stereotypical ADHD person who is usually a guy.
Yeah, boy.
Who's very, who's
loud,
very, exactly.
Noisy.
Yeah, you know it.
I know, like in Chinese society, it's the same. Like girls tend to be more quiet, and boys, if if they cannot like sit still, if they walk around, right, around the classroom and they shout, be noisy, so people think, okay, this guy has ADHD.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
then
socially acceptable for boys to
it
be.
is. So that means they get diagnosed at a much younger age usually.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
there's a pattern now of women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s now, really, really late in life, getting diagnosed and going, oh, it all makes sense. But it's so late, and if you want to have a career or something,
But
it's really annoying.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I would say if they can diagnose in time or at
Yes.
an early age, they can reach to not say full potential. They can act better. They can grow better, right?
Yes, and then also you can, I think it helps people who are beating themselves up over all these things they're doing that they know are bad, like, I don't know, being messy. And then they can have self-compassion and they understand and they go, oh, that's the reason. And that also helps in moving forward and improving.
Well, what do you mean? You mean people without ADHD can have this compassion or?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But also people, what I really meant was people with ADHD, because it's often the case that you get really annoyed with the symptoms.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what they are, you just
Yeah.
think it's your own fault, your own laziness.
Oh yeah, you're right. You tend to blame yourself,
Yeah.
self-blame.
Yeah, and that can
But it's
build
not
up over
your
the years.
fault. You should blame something else, like this
Yes.
this ADHD thing, yeah, instead of blaming yourself.
Yes, and I also, one of the most important things I think of, now I say that, is that I actually think it's best not to blame yourself about it. I mean, okay, yes, it can be very helpful sometimes to go, oh, that's the reason. It was so annoying and now I know. But it's also important to go, it's just a different way of working and living, and it's neither better or worse. And I shouldn't be blaming myself for this. I should just figure out a different way that works. And it might be something really weird that for the vast majority of people, it doesn't work. Like, for example, working late or working in weird time frames. Or, I mean, to be honest, unfortunately,
So what is your like working
was just-
standard? When did you like get up to go to bed? When do you usually?
at first year university that I've just completed.
Yeah.
It
Congratulations!
was, yippee, thank you. It was about 12 p.m. Or is it a.m.? Oh gosh, I think it was 12 a.m.
a.m. Yeah.
Yes, which
It's
is
normal.
12. Is it?
Yeah. Well, when do you like get up? Wake up.
7 or 8.
Okay. Oh, it's normal. Yeah. For me, I
good.
always like 12 to 8.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I
But
was
for
told,
some people, they for the people you know, they tend to like go to bed earlier than 12.
they go to bed at 9.
9.
Yeah, I was feeling
Are
crazy.
they young people? Like
They were yes.
they are freshmen at university.
Yes.
9.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I was a bit weird. Oh, I'm glad
nice.
to hear that.
Yeah, everybody have their own time zone, right?
Oh, well, the other thing I was going to say was I tended to produce a lot of work in first year, especially first term, quite late. As in, I'd wait until maybe like a few days before the deadline to begin, when I should have started a week before.
So is it called procrastination?
Yes. But I bizarrely found that it actually helped because it meant I didn't have time to overthink. And especially when I was writing essays.
That's how you can focus.
Yes.
Because you have this.
Focus so well. And I would write an essay that would take most people probably longer. But
So you are very productive during that period.
It was just a different way of working. But to be honest, it was still so stressful. I definitely learned my lesson.
And after the stressful moment passed, you were so relieved.
Oh, I was so relieved. Oh, even though I hadn't been doing anything for maybe some days. But I was also struggling in other ways that can mean that you're too exhausted to do the work sometimes. Like, for example, people with ADHD tend to have sensory issues, or not sensory issues, but they tend to sometimes be overwhelmed by sound, etc. So I'd walk to the dining hall and eat lunch, and even that would actually be quite exhausting.
Because your emotion or those sounds are very sensitive to you.
Yes,
You
and you're
need
just
to
looking
process.
at everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and you come back, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it consumes your energy.
Yes,
Right?
yes. So one of the big things was that many things that most people probably wouldn't find tiring, I did.
Like,
Just walking to the dining hall or
yeah.
just walking around Toronto to go to a class.
So, do you find like exhausting if you go to a nightclub? Those loud music.
Yes. Oh, that is true.
So now, how many years passed since you diagnosed ADHD?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 years.
Yes.
Now, do you take any drugs, meditation? Medications?
I do take ADHD medication here, but at a lesser extent.
Yeah.
I find that as I grow older, I learn new ways to study
Live
well.
with-
Yes, and live
with
exactly, live with
ADHD.
it. So I
What
don't
are
need them
your
as
ways?
much.
Find out
They're like the
quiet.
usual ones, like exercise a lot, so I have, not a lot of time to waste, and that also releases naturally good chemicals for the brain to
Oh,
focus. And eating very healthily, but yes, and socializing.
Socializing.
Yes, I find that if I work with other people, I tend to work better because then I'm less inclined to procrastinate or not focus.
Do you think like meditation can be helpful?
I do, and I've heard a lot of people who find it helpful, but I've never really tried.
Okay.
I just find it so boring.
Yeah. Because I try meditation for like one term, like because I have this meditation class, and I will say, I always get distracted by my mind. Like when I think, I cannot focus very well. But I think if you like practice this as much as possible or with right methods, you can like be more, you can concentrate in a better way. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think so. Yeah.
I also found that just doing work on time or very early helps.
On time and early help.
Surprise.
Yeah, procrastination also helps.
It does, but
But after that, you feel
yeah, it's very tiring. And I found in second term not procrastinating as much and also finding quiet space and reading and just taking time away.
so. Do you think sometimes like walk, take a stroll, will
Oh,
also
yes, that helps a lot.
help? Even for me, I feel like it cleared my mind.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I was lucky in first year that my residence was very near the big circle, St. George's Circle, that everyone walks around. So whenever I couldn't focus, I'd just walk around it a few times.
Yeah, it helps. So, do you know some friends also have like ADHD?
This is very funny. I find that no, almost everyone. It's really funny. Sometimes there are people who I've known for almost all my life, like since I was 6, and it turns out they also have it. Only they discovered a year ago or something, which is really funny because I guess like what is it? Like attracts. If you're similar, you tend to.
Oh yeah. Attract the same kind of like magnet, right?
Yes, I do find that I'm very comfortable with people who have ADHD because the conversation can jump from one topic to another very easily.
And they can resonate, can understand what you're talking about.
Yes, but then sometimes that can backfire because you can say a problem and they can give you some, I don't know, really bad advice. Like, just do drugs, it helps me.
Oh yeah.
It's like, no.
I see. They draw from
Oh, no, that's illegal drugs, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So I also know like one symptom people will consider if you have ADHD, which is if I'm talking to you, like I was playing this, I was like doing something on my hands, blah 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 blah. If I talk to you, and my hands keep like moving,
Well, that's
fingers.
true. Mine are
Right.
doing that right now. Yes.
So do you have this like symptom when you're talking to someone and you
I
subconsciously?
definitely. I find it much easier to talk to someone when I'm walking or I'm active. Because then I need to focus less on the conversation
Oh yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, maybe we should like walk and
Oh, it's
holding
all
this
right.
stand.
Oh no, it's so lovely being in the park right now. I've wanted to come here for ages.
Yeah. I think. Do you have any other things like to share about ADHD? If no, it's fine.
That
Yeah.
while it is considered a disability, that is because there aren't yet sufficient systems in place to allow people with ADHD to live their lives differently. And therefore that makes it a disability because you are disabled compared to everyone else. But in fact, it's a different way of being and of living, and it's completely fine. And you can, it's either better or worse than anything else. You just need to be open-minded and find a way of living that works for you.
Yeah,
But you don't feel self-pity too much because it's not necessarily bad.
You should not indulge yourself in your
No.
own feelings. You don't talk to others.
No, just get on with it.
Yeah.
One of the things I've got lots of friends. I'm also friends with lots of people who don't have ADHD, which is also lovely. One of the things I do find problematic when I talk to people with ADHD is they always start moaning about everything.
Oh, yeah.
And, while I appreciate that we all need to vent and find someone who
but
agrees.
Not trauma dumping.
Yeah, not trauma dump, first of all. And then, I don't know, I just think, get on with it.
Yeah. And also, you talk about like, accessibility, right? We have like facilities, let's say for like people in wheelchair, but we don't focus, we don't pay attention to like people with like ADHD, right?
No, to be honest.
Because it's not apparent. We
No,
cannot
exactly.
see.
It's a lot more hidden.
If you don't tell me, I thought you are just like to move around.
Well, yes, it can be very hidden. The university, I find, has very superb accommodation for ADHD.
In which ways?
So many ways. I receive 50% more time on all exams.
So if you're told you're a professor?
Yes, I get a 1-week extension.
But you
if
need
I
to have
ask.
the
I need to have
proof.
this, yes, and that's the problem.
Can I fabricate?
Well,
and then they give me.
Well, they're very aware of that people might do that. I also sit my exam in a separate accommodation room, which is really distraction free, and it's just a desk, and that's
Just
very helpful.
Yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's the video talking about ADHD with my friend Georgia. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for interviewing me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah. Imagine if they have ADHD, or what do you want to tell them?
I would say be open-minded, whether you have ADHD or not. Accept everyone for who they are, and make sure people don't feel an overwhelming need to conform. Celebrate diversity and be kind to yourself and others. Duh.
Duh.